man?
Pretty good. Pretty pretty pumped for Santa Anita to get back and then in Keeneland next week. So
Yeah, I'm pumped for Keeneland. I'll probably do a little bit of Santa Anita, but I don't know. I never get too hyped up for the California racing.
yeah, I'm we'll see how the cards are, but I'm planning to get back into California this winter as long as the field sizes are solid. And I don't know. For some reason I like Del Mar this year a lot more than I had in the past.
Yeah, I want to get the Santa Anita in person like later this year, if possible. Like I think that would get me hyped up for California racing a bit more. I gotta say, like, yeah, I like the dirt stuff for some reason in California tracks. It just feels like kind of old school dirt racing.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, Del Mar was kind of ridiculous with how big of the speed bias it is, but yeah, Santa Anita but like they all send. The jockeys don't really mess around. They send, and sometimes the races can melt down if you have a closer.
You're saying that Santa Anita?
Yeah, just in
Okay, yeah.
California in general, like they
They
don't
don't
mess
fuck
around
around.
on the front end like in New York, where it's like some
All coy.
lone speed is going way too slow. And um but yeah, I mean, it all depends. Like, but you can get some like good play against Baffert at like 2 to 5, and on a bad horse or something. I don't know. There's some good opportunities, but I'm hoping the turf races are full fields because I did a lot of trip work on and at Del Mar, and hopefully playing back some horses upcoming.
Yeah, they've got some heavy hitting races. Like you gotta must watch, I guess. Even if I'm a hater a little bit, but it should be a good meet.
Well, it's like in the winter, it's like whoa, it's either Gulfstream or there. So
Yeah, I've been a
unfortunately,
Gulfstream guy forever, so I'm trying to branch
really,
out. I think that's my thing.
yeah. I mean, I like the turf pick 3 at Gulfstream. That $3 pick 3 with the 15% takeout, and I also like that cross country pick 5 they do at Santa Anita.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
kind
it's
of
coming
fun.
back.
I've done that a
It's
couple
coming
times.
back Saturday, yeah. So I'll always look at that for. I don't know. Just the Tapeta is. I don't like the synthetic.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I don't hate it. I definitely don't like big races on it. I prefer dirt or turf. I don't know. I'm still not sold on the synthetic, I guess.
Fine. It's hard to handicap.
Yeah.
And
Also visually, like I don't know. I hate the black ones. They should come up with some cooler color scheme or something. Something to catch the eye.
yeah.
What'd you think of this little sequence? Pick Floyd, Churchill. I've been liking all the dirt stuff. I'm going to the Mexico City track this weekend. That's all dirt. I'm just in a dirt kick right now.
Yeah. I mean, Churchill definitely has the best. They have the best dirt racing going right now for sure. They got full fields. Um, the track seems to play pretty fair. You can actually close on the dirt, unlike some
Yeah,
unlike some
yeah. I
tracks
noticed that
if
as well.
it's a pace stool. But at the same time, if you're lone speed or something, like it's actually trip dependent, which is like what I actually like when in dirt racing if it's playing.
Yeah, that's what I love handicapping. That's fun to
Yeah,
handicap
exactly. I mean,
from
that's the
that
whole game
perspective.
of it. Is That's the fun, but it's not like who's
Hmm
going to get the lead and that's it. Like, that's like there's no um, there's no like skill to it if it's that
Yeah,
type of thing.
yeah. I've been enjoying this meet. It's been a um, good variety of You got some good closers in some races, and then a couple speed duels to the end, and good variety at least.
Yeah.
All right, if you're ready, we'll start in the race 8. Just doing the late pick 4. This is a mile, the ACAC Stakes Grade 3. This has two of my favorite mile horses in it, Tumbarumba and Cagliostro. I really love those horses. They're super fun to watch, and them going against each other is giving a good race or two. I think though I have the single in this one with Saudi Crown the 7. I think it's just kind of a gimme for him. Um, should be able to just get to the front and hold those fractions. I imagine he'll be pushed by Cagliostro and Tumbarumba, but I really see a situation where he's just running this thing from the get go, and Cagliostro and Tumbarumba kind of push each other in a speed duel, and maybe you get one of these deep closers for like second or third on cleanup, like 3 technique. I liked Big Blue Line should be competitive too for that second or third, but I think Saudi Crown is the one to beat. How did you see this one?
Yeah. No, unfortunately, I kind of see it the same way. I don't really think there's a ton of speed in this race, so I just don't really see any scenario where this he just doesn't win. I mean, I mean, really, the only other horse with speed is the 4 Mufasa, 4-1 morning line. I mean, it's at a slow pace, but it's still slow on the pace figures for Colonial, but still 44-2. Um, and won nicely in allowance race, stepping up in class. I mean, definitely that horse has talent. I mean, it was hammered in both starts in the U.S. and 9-time winner at a ton of different distances. So I mean, it's won from 7 furlongs to a mile and 1/8. So definitely a pretty cool horse, but Saudi Crown can outside press to death. So I was kind of thinking the same way of if I mean Saudi Crown. I would kind of play it as a free square, but maybe a bomb underneath. Stage Raider, the 2, 15-1. I'm not sure what happened last time. That was a pretty bad effort, but I I think I bet that horse. Yeah, the Tapit Trice race. But the race before at Monmouth was a good comeback effort. First start of the year, kind of chasing a slow pace, and finished second in this race last year. So if you can just excuse that last race, I don't really know why it was so bad. Um, Maybe can clunk up for second or third at a big price.
Yeah, I kind of agree with. I like Stage Rider as well. I just I don't know. Even underneath that, I just like the 3 technique a little more. I like the Mufasa angle you were talking about as well. Yeah, I just wasn't too sure. He's only ran in 2 races in the States. Cleaned up pretty well in that last one. Could be the pressing Saudi Crown, but like you said, Saudi Crown's got the outside post and can kind of get the trip he wants in this. So yeah, some good calls from underneath. I think you can get a little interesting with that in this race, but hard to get past Saudi Crown, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a Saudi Crown is a cinch.
Okay, now that we jinxed it, we'll go to the next one. Mile on the 16th, 127,000 allowance. This is for 2-year-olds, which I'm not a huge fan of. I watched a lot of these replays for these, and I've seen these horses a couple times, and I landed on one that I see is like this is his spot to just clean up and get another win. Second would be a second win, and that's a good cheer for Brad Cox. She looked pretty dominant in that last race, even if it was just a 5-horse maiden 32. But there's a lot of uncertain horses in this race putting up similar speed figures, and there's a lot of early speed outside and inside of her. So I like her just sitting slightly off the pace. She did it in the last race and cleaned up and pushed to a 8-point victory in that one. With Luis Saez, Brad Cox, Luis just been absolutely dominant. And anytime he gets a good horse that can sit just that off the pace or even the front pace in Churchill right now, he's cleaning up with it. So I kind of want to single her, and there's a lot of interesting horses underneath, even the 6, Hearts United, a closer. There's a ton of early pace, so I mean, that's kind of the angle with her. I like Kenneth McPeak horse. La Marinera and then Adira, like those are really good young horses. This is just going to be a lot of early speed, and I don't want to just pick like 3 or 4 early speed, so I went with a little bit off the pace. How did you see this one, Conductor?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to really like anyone. I take a shot with the 8-1 morning line. Small barn, 28 starters this year, only one win. But pretty small sample size. It's really debuted at Keeneland, ran a good second. Then caught 3 sloppy tracks, one where she broke her maiden, and has improved in the last 3 starts on the fast, 2 on the fast dirt, and then 1 on turf last time. I am a little concerned. She is bred for the turf, and she ran a good race like at Kentucky Downs last time. It was kind of wide, but finished off the race nice. So she could have just moved forward with the turf, and she'll regress when she goes back to the dirt. But actually has some speed figures that are better than a lot of these other ones have run. So first time routing, it's kind of a wild card, and 8-1 is a square price.
Okay, that's your single.
No, I'm not sure. I mean, no, the 5 good cheer is definitely the most likely winner. I haven't decided how I'm going to structure the ticket yet, but those 2 would be definitely the most logical for me.
Okay, yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, I'll probably end up spreading a little bit in this race. I like La Marinera, Marinera. I like the little bit the 6 Hearts United, and then I kind of like the Deer. So I'll see which of those I can get to, depending on how the rest of my ticket comes out. If I can still solo Saudi Crown in the other race, I should be able to get to a couple of those. On to the 10, race 10, a mile and an 8. This is a grade 2. Can we stick with you and you let me know what you thought of this?
Yeah. Yeah, this race I probably will I will single the 5 Cook Creek 5-1 morning line. Just really because there's no pace in this race at all. Maybe I include Stiletto Boy 20-1 stretching out to a route. That one could be the other one that shows speed. But even though it's a mile and an eighth, all these horses are pretty much closers except for the 4 Cook Creek. 1 Gate to Wire on a sloppy track last time, but 2 back ran a really fast figure in an allowance race after moving into the Maker barn. So Definitely stepping up in class. I think you probably get better than 5-1, but just as a pure pace play, I'm gonna go with the 4. Cook Creek. I mean, disarm gets Rosario off, which is a huge angle, but also takes the blinkers off and really showed any improvement from last year. Um, and hit show Brad Cox. Um, it's just a deep closer. I think a Cox horse you can actually try and beat for once. So I'm gonna take a shot with the 4.
Okay, I'm actually right there with you. I kind of saw this the same way. Not much pace. Cook Creek. What I think I handicapped these without the morning line odds. What did you say Cook Creek's at?
5-1.
Yeah, that's a pretty good price. Yeah, that's a pretty good price. Probably going to be the lone speed out in front. Um, shouldn't get pushed too hard. Stiletto Boy might be there. I had hit show underneath. I thought that with Florent Giroux, he's kept this horse not too far off the pace, which should be a good trip in this race. I think it's Cook Creek on the lead, and then whoever gets the first shot out of him is probably the exacta. So yeah, Cook Creek with Luis Saez. Luis killing it here. This is only the third race out for this horse with Michael Maker, and he's won the other two. I think this is honestly a similar um, race shape or pace setup that he's seen in a couple other of these races. So yeah, it's a good shot with him.
Yeah, looking at it a little more, I mean, I'm definitely going to actually include Stiletto Boy at 20-1, um, in some way, maybe even at least a backup. I mean, it's a great one. The San Anita handicap, 2023, last time off a long layoff on the turf. Didn't actually run that bad, and I put some speed into her. I think it's to him getting that sprint race. So I mean, from the one hole, they should. I mean, if they can read the form at all, they definitely send. And just at that big of a price, I think I'm gonna use them too with the 4.
Okay, good call. Yeah, it's a interesting race. You like these other ones, it kind of sets up to a totally different picture, and it gives you some different options you can get to, which I enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean, any excuse to get a 20-1 on the ticket, I'm taking it.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's finish her up. 6 furlongs again. This is maiden, so I'm gonna probably end up spreading. I've got at least two that I'll get to, and then let you try to convince me for another one or two, maybe. Um, yeah, this late in the year with maiden races, I kind of try to, especially at the Churchill Downs meet, I try to filter out which horses have been racing and not winning, even if they've been improving, and which horses just haven't seen the field much. And you typically want to take a shot with like a horse that hasn't seen the track much, or maybe first time starter with a good trainer and a good jockey on it, good workouts, over some of the horses that are like 0-5, 0-10, even if they've been there a couple times, second, third place. So that's kind of how I try to start handicapping these maiden races, I guess. So I came up with the 11 Firefly. Can you tell me what the money line is on him?
10-1.
Okay. Yeah, I love that price. Eddie Keneally and Luis Saez have been absolutely killing it here. Out of their last 20, they have a 20% win ratio. But I bet if you cut that down to just this meet, I don't have that in front of me right now, it seems like every third race they're winning. Like, they've just been killing it when they team up. I like that he's coming off of the Kentucky Downs race where he had some stiff competition, and I just don't know if he's a turf horse. He's put up some good workouts on the dirt recently. And Eddie Keneally's going route to sprint 24%, turf to dirt 15%. Both of those are above his average for the last few months. So I like taking a shot there with Fireflight. And then I also had the number 4. And tell me if these numbers are off too, because I handicapped these earlier in the week. The number 4 Waltstib with Brian Hernandez. This is a Kenneth McPeak, Brian Hernandez team up. So a couple of these horses in this race are like first time Lasix, first time gelding. I think you can take a shot with any of these. This one's been putting up good speed figures with Alvarado, Junior Alvarado, and he has experience at the 7 furlongs. So this is a little bit of a cutback. I liked his last few races at Saratoga. I think those were good competition. Really good workouts coming into this race now. I might be the classier horse. Is this the favorite horse?
No, 9-2. So
Okay.
I think
Okay.
7-2 to 7 is the favorite. Urban Boss.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I like that horse too. I still would keep this one on top. Just looks like a pretty decent horse. Not a lot of experience, and does look good in the few races out. So should be ahead of some of these other horses that have had 6, 8, 10 shots and just haven't got there. So I like those two horses. Are there any others you can convince me of here?
Well, yeah, I think this is a tough race. Um, it's wide open for sure. An angle that I do like, is like the par for this level for maiden races 91 at Churchill, going 6 furlongs, and none of the horses in here are even close to that with experience. So, pit with a lot of prices, um, doing pick with first time starters um, in these type races where these are the type of races the first time starters have a bigger shot than you think because the field could just be way slower than an average field. Um, so I mean, I like your two horses for sure. Um, Firefight is definitely it's a good cutback, good works on the dirt, and then at the 4. I typically don't like when you see gelded and Lasix, like when they're doing multiple things, but I mean this one was hammered at Saratoga at the windows both times for McPeak, who doesn't even fire with first time starters really, and just missed, and then like you said, his work's coming in. So I think there's a chance that this gelding could. That's the horse I think could just absolutely dominate this field. The 4, I could definitely see that, but I would probably use those would probably be the only two horses I would use that have raced. Um, and then as far as first time starters, the 2 Kosher Capone, decent works, but this trainer 22% with a plus $1 ROI on the year, so just flat betting, and then first time starter 14% positive ROI. Debut maiden special 8 15% positive ROI. So again, in a field where this just could be a really slow group, that's definitely one I would add if I was adding. And then the 9, the trainer doesn't have great stats, but only 36 starters on the year and 29 first time starters. So a really small sample size, and that Colts workout tab, I mean, screams like it's definitely going to probably be the speed at least. I mean, 47-2 gate work at Keeneland, and then 59 flat breezing, 46-3 breezing. That's pretty quick coming in. And let me see what other ones that I like. Yeah, maybe the 10, but I don't know. I'll probably single the 4 on a ticket, and then like use some bomb first time start. Use the 2, 2, 9, and 11 probably. on another one with the 4.
All right, yeah, I like that angle. That's kind of my thinking about some of the horses I might add underneath. It's just take some shots on these first time starters, especially that the 9 with Jared Loveberry. I think that's a really good shot underneath. All right, let me run down real quick my whole little ticket. Small ticket, a lot of room to add on. Race 8, single with Saudi Crown. Race 9, Good Cheer. And I'll just leave it as Good Cheer, and there was a couple underneath that we could add. Race 10, Cook Creek, Hit Show, 4 and the 6, and then race 11, the 11, the 4, Firefight, and Wallstib. Small little ticket.
Yep. Yeah. I'm thinking the same thing. I'll play a ticket, probably Saudi Crown, the 7, the 1, La Marinera, and the 5, Good Cheer, the 1, Stiletto Boy, and the 4, Cook Creek. And I'll probably play one for like $10 to the 4. Wastib, and that'd be like a $40 ticket, and then maybe a smaller one, smaller denomination to the 2, 10 and or 2, 9 and 11 in the last race. So I think you need to. I might not even use that other Brad Cox in that second leg. I think. Well, I don't know if you get. It's so tight that you can play it for a bigger denomination and still get some value. But I think definitely the value horse of the sequence is that, or the value race for me is that 10th race with Cook Creek, and then I'm really starting to talk myself into Stiletto Boy. So hopefully maybe we can get a bomb home.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good little sequence. I played the pick 4 because I didn't want to do another maiden race. But yeah, there's some creative ways you can go about these races. And like we were talking about how each race kind of sets its own pace profile up, and that's how you handicap it. I think that's what makes these fun races, even if a couple are 8-horse fields or whatever. But some good stakes races.
Yep. It's a good racing.
Thanks for hopping on here, Conductor. Anything you want to plug? What are you up to these days on your show or any other media stuff?
No, not really. I mean, I'm gonna keep doing the short little podcast in the morning, but I'm gonna do Santa Anita too, and then once Keeneland comes back, I'll do a lot of stuff for Keeneland. That'll be my main place. So yeah, can't wait for Keeneland to come back and then head into the Breeders' Cup. So
Yeah, we'll have to double team some Keeneland, definitely.